we have the next collection box set revealed, season 25, and it looks ace.
It's stunning, isn't it?
It looks so good, doesn't it?
Gorgeous cover art there by Lee Binding. I mean, it's always good stuff from him, but it does feel like he's outdone himself with this one.
I think this is one of the best covers in the collection range. I think for me, season 8 is my favorite, but this is possibly a close second.
I think easily the best of the McCoys, maybe best of the 80s. It's wonderful how it's very silver, it does feel very celebratory. It feels right for the 25 years, but it's got that yellowish gold accent to it as well. Just really pops, brings it all to life. It feels right for McCoy as well, and his cream there.
Yeah, it's interesting because McCoy is the first Doctor to be completed on Blu-ray. Now this completes McCoy years. So it'd be interesting.
We're only one box set away from completing the 80s.
We've not got like the traditional time vortex background. We've got sort of the meteorites or sort of paper scrunched up incorporated in this.
Yeah, and the Nemesis as well back there.
Yeah, that's really really nice. And
I mean, who had the bow and arrow as on their bingo card for what he'd be holding?
It had to be that or like the calling card. I think it had to be one of those.
Yeah, but then you've got the time controller on the little booklet art there.
I mean, it's interesting that the booklet, it's more of a season sort of overview now instead of sort of one story.
But you still got the one story for the
booklet,
fold out, Which, I mean, they've gone for Happiness Patrol there, which I think is rather fitting because you've got your Pink TARDIS. You might as well go for it.
I mean, this would have been perfect last year for Barbie.
Very true.
We've missed the boat for that one. I think the disc art is such an improvement because I think every time I did an unboxing video, I was like, it's nice photos, but it's just Doctor and Companion. You want monsters, you want the stories to have their own identity. And if you look at season 15 and season 18 in particular, they don't really have the story identity. These discs do have it. You've got the Candyman, Special Weapons Dalek, Cyber Leader, Chief Clown, you've Helen A. You've got a great selection of characters there, what give you a flavour of the story. We know what the stories are, but it's great to have it there.
It's probably helped by the fact that there's only 4 stories across 8 discs.
Yeah.
So, you can get your Doctor Companion out the way on one disc, then you've got a second disc to play with a bit more. But even then, they've gone, all out a bit more with Helen A and the Candyman each having their own disc there to represent Happiness Patrol. I mean, I feel really excited about this because of a lot of things. Like, we talked about how it's presented. That's all gorgeous. That's sort of what you expect. That's always the guarantee to be at least pretty good.
Yes.
We know what we get now with these. It's almost lost its shine in a way, unboxing these, because you sort of, we're used to this layout now, which used to feel very bougie and fancy because nothing else out there was like it. Yeah.
They're still quite... Because I think we're getting to a year now. So the hype and the build-up for them is great.
Helps your budget a bit more as well because they're getting more and more expensive.
I mean, if you want a discount, I have a code to get 20% off. Link will be in the description, so And I think I used it, and I think it come to £43. So that's like £11 saving. So that's use that a couple of times, and you've got your free collection set basically.
I mean, shall we talk about what's within the discs? What's the content?
That's what matters.
Perhaps one of the most exciting things is that not 1, not 2, not 3, but all 4 stories are getting updated special effects.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's weird because the news article only mentions Remembrance, Silver Nemesis, and The Greatest Show, but the trailer explicitly says all of them, and you see the Happiness Patrol,
which is the main one.
Yeah,
they really flout in the trailer, and I think
they make it feel like a city.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a studio, and I think that's the one that's going to be really exciting to watch because we tier listed we've done the whole tier list for the McCoy years, and Happiness
video
Patrol
each season.
Yeah, and we weren't too keen on the Happiness Patrol. So I wonder if this new creative vision will help us finally get into the story.
I mean, it'd be nice to be able to just go through a whole season with updated special effects and have it feel as new almost.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes getting these collection sets, even for stories that we've watched a bunch of times, it feels fresh when you put that Blu-ray disc in and watch it in that higher quality. It does feel like a brand new experience. Now even more so with these new effects across the whole, set, which are looking pretty strong.
They are. I love the special weapons Dalek with the sort of charging up of the gun.
It's stuff that I
that.
never quite knew I needed. The cyber fleet as well. That's rather gorgeous.
It feels very authentic to how you imagined it as a kid. I would say how your imagination pictures it. But here they are,
Because I've seen some hate for those original effects since this was announced. Saying, "Oh, I'm glad they replaced those rubbish Dalek blasts." But I never had a problem with them.
I love them.
I can't say that I'm upset that they've been. Well, it's not even been replaced because
they're still there.
You still have the original. Well, I'm very happy with the special edition. I don't see anything hate-worthy about the original. It definitely looks like it's got an upgrade, but yeah. And it's nice that a lot of these new effects don't seem to stand out, at least in the trailer.
I think that's what we found with these ones, that you have stories like Castrovalva, where it just feels so in keeping with the story that it doesn't feel jarring, where you get certain special editions with updated effects where it doesn't quite work.
You could tell it's made 40, 50 years after the fact.
Yeah, and I think having a whole season of it, it's not jarring now because it's got a consistency to it. And this is the wonderful thing with these McCoy box sets is there are so many options to watch these. You have the extended cuts, VHS edits,
Yeah, we're getting extended VHS cuts of Silver Nemesis and a special edition omnibus version of Silver Nemesis as well. So,
which I'm so excited for because it was one of those VHS where I'm like, I'm tempted just to get that just to experience it because it had the making of documentary, which is on this set. But to make Silver Nemesis more coherent. I mean, I quite like Silver Nemesis anyway, but it'd be great to see a bit more cyber action.
Yeah. Behind the sofa is, of course, here once again. We've got Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, Bonnie Langford, Nicola Bryant, Wendy Pappery, Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton, Dame Sheila Hancock, Jessica Martin, Karen Gledhill, and Mark Hardy. So you got you got a guest from each story there actually.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if, that is quite a lot. I wonder if for those last four they're going to be doing the whole season, or if there's going to be one each joining another sofa for their specific episode. In conversation, we got Sophie Aldred.
Haven't we already had Sophie Aldred on season 26?
Good point.
So I feel like this is an extended one to talk about. Hey, so
because in the trailer
we've got you returning. Let's talk about that. Hopefully, it brings up a Childhood End. Because I think that'd be a big part of it, because I think Sophie's been such a big ambassador for the 13th Doctor's era with reading the audiobooks, and then returning in Power of a Doctor. So I think it's valid.
Yeah, and you got Tales of the TARDIS in there as well.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Like a look back since they last did it and what's happened in the intervening 5 years. There's also a weird sign of how long the collection sets have been going for.
Yeah.
So also Andrew Cartmel and Chris Clough. That one, the last one, looks to be more about his career beyond Doctor Who.
Yes.
And how someone who began at Doctor Who has gone on to
be one
so
of the
much
big
more.
talking points of British television last year with the post office scandal.
Yeah. Looking for Dursley, which imagine that's going to be an emotional one.
You're always guaranteed one to pull at your heartstrings on these sets.
Yeah, the looking forward certainly seem to go for that. But we've known, since it happened technically, about his unfortunate passing so young.
It's all down to Russell, wasn't it? With like original, it's a sin.
Yeah, it's a sin. There was a little tribute to him there, wasn't there?
Yeah, so it's great to see Russell involved within that feature.
Yeah, we got the collectors, the 1980s. The 60s one wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, as somebody who enjoys collecting the merch, I found it very sort of surface level. And I felt like we've kind of touched bases with the Dr. Forever series that kind of did it a little bit more well-rounded. I think this is just kind of going, here's a little snapshot of some of the merch. I think as a Anorak merch fan, I want to know all of it, you know?
Yeah. I suppose the thing is, well, it's more about the collectors rather than the collection. Because this is about the fans who actually got a lot of these things, who are still holding on to them now. Whereas I think what you and other people are perhaps more looking for is what about the actual history of why these things were made, what choices were made, how they get. And you certainly get snippets of that there, but it's not quite a history of what you could collect from Doctor Who. It's a history of what people did collect, I suppose. We've also got the Doctor Who Escape Room, Team 7th Doctor. Have we had one of these before?
Yes, we have.
Who was that?
It was on the Celestial Toymaker.
Okay. So not a collection,
but it's they've
it'll
branded
get carried
it
over to collection at some point.
The title sequence is Doctor Who the Collection, even though that wasn't part of the collection range, like you say. It'd be interesting to see if they refine the format of this, because I enjoyed the first Doctor one, but I don't need to see the whole 75 minutes of it. You know, I think you can really cut it down and make it more.
Is there some dead air in there at times?
Yeah, and it's kind of uncomfortable because Maureen O'Brien's a little bit hard of hearing. And you've got K9 giving hints and clues, and she's like, "What's the dog saying? I can't hear." And like, you're like, "Bless her." And she's like, "I don't like this. I don't." And you're like, "Oh, come on, you could have cut that."
When Sophie met Leslie, that's about Leslie Dunlop, co-star on Happiness Patrol.
This is interesting.
It's about a friendship that struck up there.
It feels like they've sort of brought a new sort of series in it, were because we had it with Janet Fielding interviewing Martin Clunes. I feel like this is going to be of the same ilk.
Yeah, so getting one of the stars to chat with one of their co-stars about where things went after Doctor Who.
It's a different way of doing a talking heads, isn't it? It's not like we had a great time on location. Pass me my check, please. This is going to be a bit more of an informal.
I think that's the main joy of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's actor on actor rather than interviewer on actor. You get a bit more down on their level, I suppose.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in on the conversation a bit more, which is nice. And then, there's so much more on there as well. Surround sound on all the stories, I'm guessing.
Yes.
It was that. That's what we've had for all the other, sets at this point in the show's history. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. More excited than I thought I'd be for season. Not that I dislike season 25 by any means.
Yeah.
Like, you got Remembrance and Greatest Show in there, which are bloody brilliant. But I didn't expect this much from it. I'd sort of like looked at 25 as, right, what can you do here beyond what we've got already?
I think because they were quite late DVD releases. I think Remembrance was the earliest one. Then it was Silver Nemesis in 2010, and the rest were 2012.
But you got to remember it's special edition as well.
Yeah,
which I think came along before the others still anyway.
Yeah, I didn't pick up that. I've just got the OG Remembrance.
With the interesting cover art.
Yeah,
it's almost a shame that didn't become disc art, actually. Like, no offense, Special Weapons Dalek, but that could have been a fun little reference.
Reference to the range. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing an updated Remembrance, because I've not seen the making of.
Haven't you? Back to School, that one's called.
Yeah, because I nearly got it, but then the collection range started, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hold off now.
Yeah, the waiting is finally paying off for you.
It is. I just want to do a little side note. The trailer.
Go for it.
I love it, but it's not. I know that the trailers have become their own little event, but I just enjoyed that it was just all about this box set.
I think it worked very well.
Yeah, I thought using the archive footage of, the 25th anniversary stuff, I think it was beautifully done.
It almost feels like it was shot specifically for the collection.
Yeah.
But just done 30 years ago now.
Yeah.
But 35.
Yeah.
It's wonderful how they worked that in.
It was great.
Let us know your thoughts on season 25. Are you picking it up? Have you pre-ordered already? If not, Ben's got a link for you.
Hey, here to help.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.